Hey everybody, welcome to The Bottom Line. I'm Michael Noland. Tonight we're going to talk about one of my favorite bands in rock and roll. Of course, I'm talking about my second favorite Canadian rock band of all time, the Guess Who. Now, last October, Burton Cummings and Randy Bachman both sued the current lineup of this band. You know, the lineup that's out there touring right up until, well, a couple of days ago. We'll get more into that as we go along in tonight's video. But Burton has been around the block a few times, hasn't he? And he knows that when you gotta take a giant out, sweep the leg. All right, so how did this whole thing start with the Guess Who anyway? Well, you have to go back a ways to the year 1977 when Canadian TV wanted to feature them as a special artist on TV. Their former bassist, and I say former bassist because in 1972 he was actually fired from the Guess Who, but he kind of came out of the woodwork and asked both Randy Bachman and Burton Cummings if he could use the name with replacement members for that television show. Now, there doesn't seem to be too much debate as to whether that was true or not. The original agreement was he could use the name for that one specific show. But evidently Jim wasn't happy with that, and he did some digging, you see, and he found out that the band name, The Guess Who, had not been trademarked. And so he did some quick rearranging and trademarking himself, and he had control and rights to the band name. Now, he would later bring on Gary Peterson, the drummer, and the only member who currently has anything to do with the band on stage, and from what I understand, he's not even doing that anymore. But Jim is evidently still behind the scenes doing all the hiring and firing for the band, and guess what he has called them? He has called them nothing more than trained monkeys. So it's not like he has any respect for these guys other than them providing a means for him to continue to make money in a band that he had very little to do with other than co-writing the song American Woman. All right, so first of all, what I want to do is read just a couple of quick excerpts from this article that is covering Burton Cummings' latest move. It starts off by saying, though the lawsuit is still ongoing, no kidding, Cummings has opted to terminate certain rights agreements on his songs to stop the Guess Who from performing them in concert. Now, there is a lot to this first sentence. First of all, what is it that Burton Cummings is doing? Well, in the next paragraph it says, it's a complex strategy that breaks down something like this. Virtually every venue in the country has an agreement with performance rights organizations. These are commonly known as pros. These organizations collect royalties on behalf of songwriters whenever their work is performed. By ending the agreements pertaining to his songs, Cummings has made it impossible for the current version of the Guess Who to perform the material in pro-aligned venues. And that's what I meant when I said they were touring until quite recently. They've taken a bit of a hiatus to kind of look over the lay of the land and see what they're going to do, because you know what, folks? Nobody cares about these guys that are performing. They only care that somebody's up there performing the old hits from the Guess Who. But notice what it says in both of these sentences in this article by Corey Irwin. It says, first of all, opted to terminate certain right agreements on his songs to stop who? The Guess Who. The writer here is referring to these monkeys as the Guess Who. He does so in the very next paragraph that I read, didn't he? So evidently, Burton Cummings has got his work cut out for him, folks. There is no doubt about that. The man is doing everything he can to curtail them, and the very person who is interviewing him, who wrote this article, who quotes him consistently throughout the article, refers to the band that is touring as the Guess Who. You see, that's the problem and the power of a brand name. And it's been getting that way for a long time. I've made many videos on Foreigner calling them nothing more than a tribute band. You know, just like these clowns. I mean, these guys aren't the lead singer. These guys aren't the songwriters for that band. Hell, one of them was even fired from the band. The same sneaky ass guy that found out that the band's name wasn't trademarked and selfishly trademarked it for himself. You know, now that John Fogerty has got the rights to his songs back, he might consider doing this to Creedence Clearwater Revisited. But this is the nature of jukebox tours, and I've always been dead set against them. Now, if you've got like 1 or 2 members left and they're traveling, you know, the fairground circuit, I have no trouble with that. You get to see them for, you know, a buck or two, or it's included into your ticket into the fairgrounds. But this is major venues we're talking about, major money being denied to the true progenitors of what was truly the Guess Who. All right, folks, that's the video for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. That always helps with the YouTube algorithm, giving every video basically a wider audience. And if you haven't subscribed to this thing we call the Tribe, oh man, that is so easy. All you have to do, take a finger and hit that subscribe to the Tribe button. Tap that top bell icon. You got to do that. Otherwise, you won't be notified of all my future videos. All right, I'm Michael Noland. This is The Bottom Line. And like I always say, the bottom line as I see it. But the true bottom line is always in the comments. And it's what you folks have to say on the matter. Because it's in the comments where we are the Tribe.